already overshadow the village, whose rumbling machinery blots out the sounds of rural life. In living memory, though, this was a thriving community. It had a factory turning out barrels and a knitting mill. Both are now crumbling away. Its cottages are falling down, and even at Pradham, which is just 2 miles away, they haven't heard of Retew. But the death of a village is a personal thing to the people who live there. People like Mrs. George Martin, who's lived here for 45 years. How sad are you that the old village is going?
Very sad indeed.
In what particular way?
Well, we call it home. We don't want any other home, but we have to go, you see.
How will you find it settling down somewhere else?
I think we shall find it very hard. Very hard indeed.
Mrs. Shirley Whitford has only lived here for 10 years, but she also feels very strongly about the village going.
Yes, I do. I feel rather sad because although we've only lived here for 10 years, it is home to us. And, you know, when the sun is shining, it's such a lovely day down here, and you think, well, it's such a nice little place that you don't really want to leave down here.
Surely moving will have some advantages, though, for you.
I think it will for the children more than for myself, because, of course, we have the car, that it isn't too bad living here, but the children, the schools and youth clubs and things that they like to join, there isn't very much for them here, you see.
Of the various things that you've found here in the last 10 years, what will you miss most when the village dies?
I think my next-door neighbour.
And anything else?
And Mrs. Martin, because everyone turns to her. If anyone wants anything, it's always Mrs. Martin.
Well, as you can see, it did happen. The village of Retew, all gone, and all that remains, 2 monkey puzzle trees. And all that great friendship and that sense of neighbourliness. I wonder if that survived the move. I bet it did, because it is in our villages and small towns that sense of closeness, that warmth, that sense of community is at its strongest. And for tonight's programme, I thought I'd show you material which demonstrates just that. So let's look back, shall we, at some of our villages as they were at a quarter of a century ago, and how people lived and what they did as a community. And let's not forget how beautiful those places were, and still are. Oh yes, it is the spirit, the sense of humour that have kept our communities alive, and long may they do so. Well, our show is almost over, but before we leave, let's return briefly to the village of Retew, the village that was, and the people enjoying themselves before it all came to an end.
So now, for the benefit of the children, the clay firms are moving the families out. And this carnival is the last time that the children of Retew will ever parade on their own village green.